announcement.
Yes, honorable members. Today, the 25th of November 2025, we mark the International Day on the Elimination of Violence against Women. We are happy on this occasion to have in our midst the new regional representative of the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, Ms. Bhatia. UNDP has been supporting Mauritius for a very long time, but more specifically today, we must underline the support of the Parliamentary Gender Caucus by the UNDP. Once more, we are benefiting from the close collaboration of UNDP to support our own efforts to struggle against gender-based violence. Indeed, tomorrow, we will launch the 16 days activism against gender-based violence at the call of the Secretary General of the United Nations. I am pleased that the Honourable Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Minister of Gender Equality and Family Welfare, and Mrs. Bhatia will be with us on that occasion to show their commitment to this very complex cause. I look forward, once more, I look forward to welcoming you all tomorrow and in the days to come until we close on the 10th of December on Human Rights Day. Thank you.
Papers have been laid. Questions?
Yes, Honourable Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've given notice of the following private notice question addressed to the Honourable Minister of Commerce and Consumer Protection. Whether in regard to the increase in the cost of living and the loss of affordability, he will state the measures taken by his ministry in relation thereto, indicating the A, sums disbursed from the initial injection of rupees 2 billion and the price stabilization fund as at date, giving details of the disbursements, including justifications therefore. B, projected evolution in prices of basic commodities over the next 3 months, and C, cost of the consumer basket as at 31st October 2025. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Honourable Minister.
Madam Speaker, upon assuming office in November 2024, the new government was confronted with a challenging economic situation. In fact, the previous government's economic mismanagement left a difficult legacy. Public debt jumped by 43% in 5 years, reaching over 83% of GDP by mid-2024. An independent audit revealed that the former administration even engaged in systematic fiscal mispresentation of key economic figures, masking a larger budget deficit, 5.7% of GDP instead of 3.9%, and slower growth than claimed. This voodoo economics and lack of transparency severely limited fiscal space and undermined confidence in our economy. In simple terms, high inflation and a constantly depreciating rupee were the results of the poor economic fundamentals we inherited. Our country, reliant on imports for fuel, food, and commodities, was hit hard by pandemic disruptions and international conflicts. The past government's heavy borrowings and loose fiscal practices aggravated these pressures. As a result, by late 2024, the cost of living had become a serious strain on families. The new government recognized that urgent action was needed to stabilize the economy and provide relief to the population. Madam Speaker, over 2019-2024, the rupee lost considerable value against the US dollar, euro, and other currencies. There are a few reasons for this depreciation. First, global investors flock to the US dollar due to rising US interest rates, which strengthen the dollar and weaken currencies like ours. Second, Mauritius' balance of payment was under strain. High import bills, especially for fuel and food, meant persistent demand for foreign currency, putting downward pressure on the rupee's value. Third, the confidence in our economic management was shaken by the past administration's opaque practices. When debt is high and deficits are understated, markets react by valuing the currency lower. Indeed, our central bank had to intervene repeatedly, selling hundreds of millions of dollars to slow the rupee's fall. All these factors contributed to the USD-MUR exchange rate reaching unfavorable levels, making imported goods even more expensive and feeding into domestic inflation. In summary, we have high inflation and a weak rupee because of external shocks and internal weaknesses, past economic mismanagement, high debt, and reliance on imports. This is the reality the new government started with in November 2024. We fully appreciate how these issues translate to hardship for the average person, from rising grocery bills to more expensive gas and utilities. Madam Speaker, in view of the unstable international context, with rising international freight, upward volatilities in foreign currencies, and rising global prices of essential commodities, and as promised in the electoral manifesto, the government has established a price stabilization fund of 10 billion rupees, starting with an initial 2 billion rupees contribution as announced in the budget measures 2025-2026 to protect the purchasing power of the population. In this context, government has approved the implementation of a fixed subsidy scheme under the Price Stabilization Fund for a pilot phase of 6 months starting 26 of August 2025. A fixed quantum subsidy scheme has been introduced under the Price Stabilization Fund for 5 essential commodities: processed cheese, milk powder, edible oil, infant milk, and baby diapers. A first evaluation of a scheme is being done after 3 months. Madam Speaker, I shall respond to parts A to C of a question regarding the measures taken by my ministry to alleviate the increase in the cost of living, with particular reference to the Price Stabilization Fund. With regards to part A of a question, government has allocated an initial 2 billion rupees for this fiscal year to the Price Stabilization Fund, with the objective of mitigating rising costs of essential commodities. This refund scheme is being administered in collaboration with the Mauritius Revenue Authority, which verifies sales claims prior to authorizing refunds. Caps have also been established to ensure the scheme remains fiscally predictable and within the approved envelope. The projected requirement for the 6-month pilot phase stands at approximately 492 million rupees. I am informed that for the months of August to October, an amount of 186 million rupees is being processed by the MOA, out of which 73 million rupees has been disbursed. The MOA is awaiting further submissions from traders to effect the remaining refunds. For period October to December this year, an estimated amount of 197 million rupees is expected to be disbursed. Furthermore, it is to be noted that the fund also provides required fiscal subsidies to maintain the present price of bread to the population. The total cost is 47 million for the period ending October 2025. It is expected that the total cost for the whole fiscal year would be 448 million rupees. As regards the justification requested, the sum disbursed has been used to operationalize a pilot 6-month refund scheme targeting selected essential commodities, namely milk powder, 50 rupees per kilo, edible oil, 15 rupees per litre, infant milk, 55 rupees per 900 grams, baby diapers, 50 cents per diaper, processed cheese, 10 rupees per 250 grams. Under this scheme, government refunds 60% of the difference between the prevailing market price and the 2021 benchmark price, which represents the lowest pricing point observed between 2021 and 2025. This benchmark was selected to ensure an objective, data-driven basis for calculating the refund while maintaining fiscal discipline. The refund is designed to provide immediate and visible relief to consumers, reduce shelf prices by an estimated 18% to 28%, depending on the commodity, stabilize the prices of goods heavily affected by international prices, exchange rate volatility, and rising freight and insurance costs. An inter-ministerial technical committee comprising my ministry, Ministry of Finance, MOE, and STC is conducting a midterm review after the third month of implementation to adjust the scheme if necessary. Madam Speaker, it is to be noted that there are not less than 43 essential commodities under price control mechanism at the level of Mauritius and 36 commodities for Rodrigues. In line with the government program 2025-2029, my ministry is continuously conducting market analysis and monitoring so as to undertake policies for price stabilization, such as the implementation of markup controls on essential commodities and VAT exemptions. Nevertheless, the prices of several essential commodities continue to remain high due to persistent international inflation, volatile exchange rate, and rising freight and insurance costs. We have noted that there have been an effective decrease in the prices of commodities on which we have intervened. However, the evolution of prices is dependent on international price practice and also the forex exchange. It has been noted that for edible soybean oil, there has been a decrease of 5.8% since introduction of a price control and subsidy scheme. It is projected to remain stable over the coming months. For processed cheese, there has been a decrease of 5%. It is projected to remain stable. For infant milk powder and baby diapers, there has been a decrease of 5.5% in price, and price is expected to remain stable. For milk powder, there has been an initial decrease of 24.2% at intervention, and we have noted an increase at international level by suppliers by 4 to 5%. With the introduction of price markup and removal of VAT on items such as frozen vegetables, we have noted an average fall of around 9% in market prices. Madam Speaker, It is to be noted that the removal of VAT on a range of essential food items has had direct and immediate impact on the purchasing power of households. By eliminating the 15% tax on basic goods such as frozen and canned vegetables, infant food, selected dairy products, and other widely consumed items, retail prices drop overnight, giving families instant savings on their weekly groceries. This VAT removal has also helped soften the impact of exchange rate fluctuation and rising import costs, which would otherwise have pushed prices upward. The measure has therefore acted as a buffer for consumers, ensuring that essential items remain affordable while the Ministry continues to monitor and stabilize the wider market through price control mechanism and the new refund scheme. Madam Speaker, I wish to highlight some additional measures that government has taken to increase the purchasing power of a population. These include a payment of a 14-month bonus to employees earning a basic monthly salary of up to 50,000. B, payment of the 2025 salary compensation to earning a basic monthly salary of up to 50,000. C, the reduction in the price of diesel by 5 rupees per litre and mogas by 7 rupees and 75 cents per litre. As regards for Part B of a question, over the next 3 months, basic commodity prices are expected to show moderate overall stability, supported by several favorable external trends. These stabilizing factors are expected to continue easing import cost pressures. At the same time, international prices for rice, wheat, and sugar have fallen by 38%, 10%, and 17% respectively, contributing to a more favorable cost structure for staple import. As such, essential commodities that are already demonstrating declining of stable trends, including vegetables, milk powder, edible oil, and processed cheese, are expected to remain broadly stable, especially those benefiting from subsidies, VAT removal, and control markup. However, certain categories may continue to face upward pressure due to international volatility and supplier-driven adjustment. Global dairy and edible oil prices have risen in recent months, with the FAO Food Price Index showing increases of 6.6% for dairy, 10.5% for edible oil, and 9.7% for meat. These trends, combined with exchange rate sensitivity, imply that commodities such as beef, lamb, coffee, and some processed foods may exhibit moderate increases. Fresh and chilled products such as chicken and yogurt also remain vulnerable to cost adjustments. Madam Speaker, as regards for Part C of the question, based on my Ministry's continuous retailing monitoring across essential product categories, the overall cost of a basic household basket has remained broadly stable as at 31st of October 2025, supported by the combined effects of price control, VAT removal, and recent introduction of subsidies. Our data show that several high consumption items, including cooking oil, powdered milk, processed cheese, frozen vegetables, and baby essentials, recorded notable price reduction ranging from 5% to 24%, while other categories remain steady despite global pressures. Without these measures, a significant portion of the basket would have been subject to upward adjustments driven by higher supplier prices, exchange rate movements, and freight costs. Looking forward, my ministry expects further improvements in the affordability of the consumer basket as the new 6-month refund scheme under the Price Stabilization Fund begins to take full effect with additional lists of commodities. This scheme is designed to bring immediate and visible reductions on key essentials. In conclusion, since 1 year, the government has been working without respite to help the public cope with a high cost of living. We inherited an economy in distress, characterized by high inflation, a weakened rupee, and a strained fiscal position due to both global crises and bad legacy of the previous administration. Our response has been comprehensive and urgent, combining immediate relief measures for households with reforms aimed at restoring economic stability. Prices of fuel and basic goods have been cut through tax and subsidy intervention. Wages and incomes have been boosted through bonuses and compensation. And essential services like transport, internet, and healthcare are being made more affordable, if not free, for our citizens.
Minister?
I'm finishing. Yeah.
Yes.
Madam Speaker, these measures are already bringing relief. Inflation has begun to trend down, and the rupee has stabilized. Most importantly, families are seeing practical benefits. We are continuously monitoring the situation and will not hesitate to introduce additional support if necessary. The cost of living remains our top priority, and this government is committed to ensuring that every Mauritian can afford basic needs and live in dignity despite the challenging economic climate. The path to full economic recovery will take time, and we have started on the right foot. We have started on the right foot by addressing both the root causes and the immediate symptoms. We are confident steering our economy out of trouble. The government's message to the population is clear. We understand your difficulties, and we are taking concrete action to alleviate them. Together, we will overcome this cost of living crisis, and build a more resilient foundation for Mauritian's future.
Thank you, Minister. Yes, please. Your first question.
Yeah, and I hope, Madam Speaker, I'll be given
Yes, I'll
enough
be
time
lenient.
to put
I'll
my
be lenient.
questions, because he has taken 25 minutes to reply to this PNQ.
You don't have to.
Madam Speaker, that argument raised by the Honourable Minister on economic mismanagement by the previous government, la population en a mort, Madame la Présidente. After 1 year, the population wants to see results, as stated by the Deputy Prime Minister himself. Madam Speaker, several budgetary measures, such as the review of the VAT registration threshold for SMEs, the review of the age of eligibility for the basic retirement pension, and the removal of the CSG allowances are having a negative impact on Mauritian households and have contributed to what I would call an affordability and a cost of living crisis. My question, Madam Speaker, to the Minister, can the Honourable Minister inform the House whether his ministry has carried out an assessment or study of these impacts on households? And if not, why such a study has not been carried out until now, Madam Speaker?
Yes, Minister.
Madam
Please,
Speaker.
all of you, one moment. You have to bear in mind, it is true, you took a very long time, Minister. Maybe you replied to everything. But we all have to bear in mind, we only have 30 minutes. Please.
First of all, let me answer his first question. He said that les gens en a marre concernant.
No, you don't
Allons
have to
dire,
reply.
on est en train de
That
mettre sur
was
l'ancien
Honourable
This
Minister.
is the truth.
Honourable Minister, please, only reply to his question, and as from now, you don't make comments, you ask a question. Otherwise, I'm going to rise. Otherwise, if we go like this, I'm going to raise a sitting. Straightforward answer to that question.
Madam Speaker, this is the truth. They destroyed the economy,
Yes,
and we are here to redress the economy. The ministry is constantly monitor market prices of essential goods. We are doing it full time.
Thank you. Second question only. Question only. No, you wait for him to finish.
Madam Speaker, the House should not forget that this government was elected on promises to lower prices on everyday goods.
Question!
He is the minister.
Sit down. Honourable Leader of the Opposition, if everybody is going to do this, I'm going to raise a sitting. Second warning. Now you put a question. Yeah, I'm warning everybody. Everybody. Please.
Is the Honourable Minister aware that today at supermarket counters, people are leaving behind goods which they are unable to pay, Madam Speaker?
Madam Speaker, this is why we have come with the measures, removing VAT. We have come with price stabilization fund to alleviate the poor.
Okay, third question, please. Yes, I've seen you. I've noted. Please.
Madam Speaker, in August, government took the decision to subsidize the price of milk. However, the price of milk is on the increase, including, he made reference that there has not been any increase in infant milk, including infant milk. Can the Honourable Minister inform the House as to why government decided to use public funds to subsidize milk products and did not reduce the profit margins on those products?
First of all,
Straight reply.
the profit margin, in fact, there is a maximum markup on basic commodities like milk. And we have to note that price of milk today is a lot cheaper when the MSM was in power. Let me give you some example. Farmland, 1 kg, today is being sold at 267 rupees. And when the MSM was in power, it was around 274 rupees. Snow wheat, 1 kg, 237 rupees today. And when MSM was in power, it was 271 rupees. Anchor, 1 kg, 254 rupees today. And when the MSM was in power, it was 271 rupees.
Okay, Minister, we've got the gist.
Okay.
We've got the gist. Your fourth question, because I have other people waiting. I've got other people waiting.
Madam Speaker, paragraph 51 of the government program refers to new legislation to allow parallel importation of pharmaceutical products, which, as stated, will result in more competitive prices on medicine. Now, more than 10 months have elapsed since that announcement was made. Will the Honourable Minister inform the House where matters stand with regard to pharmaceutical products?
Madam Speaker, the leader of opposition doesn't have to worry about it. We are working on it. Already 1 year, we are working on it. They were in power for 10 years, they didn't do anything.
That's why the Deputy Prime Minister wants to leave the government.
Fifth question.
Madam Speaker, on the same issue, can I ask the Honourable Minister to inform the House what has been done at the level of his ministry to control the prices of medicine, especially those medicines that are not available in our public hospitals?
There is maximum markup on medicine. It's a controlled product.
Okay, sixth question, and then I will let the Chief Whip put a question.
On the same issue. No, let me finish all my questions.
Well,
Madam
I don't know how many you have.
I have a lot of questions. You gave him
All right.
time. You should give me the same amount of time, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker.
Everybody,
Madam Speaker,
put the question.
yeah, I'm putting my question.
Members.
Madam Speaker, the prices of basic food such as dal puri and roti have witnessed a significant increase due to ruthless measures taken by this government. Today, NPA d'Alpourin saw 18 rupees been 28 rupees in 1 year's time. That is an increase of 10 rupees, Madam Speaker. Does the Honourable Minister realize the harm that has done? And will he inform what corrective measures will be taken to address this, Madam Speaker?
Madam Speaker, it's not all the marchand d'Alpourin who is selling at this price. People need to compare. If it's not value for money, it should not buy it.
Nobody's listening to the minister. You're all talking at the same time. Thank you. Yes. He must give all his questions.
Madam Speaker, the population was promised a decrease of more than 20 rupees on petroleum products. 1 year down in his mandate, is the ministry, is the Honourable Minister in a position to say if this government will respect this pledge made to the nation? Because they won the election.
We will try our best.
Yes. More questions? Yes?
Speaker. Yeah, Madam Speaker, with the...
Let me put things quiet. Now, of course you have the right, but he is the leader of the opposition, it's his time. This is his time. He must finish all his questions. I will give you a chance. I won't be able to give everybody. You're making my life very difficult today.
And we are making the life of the population easy today, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with the forthcoming summer and cyclonic period, sooner or later we know that the prices of vegetables will go up. Can the Honourable Minister, because we remember he came to the House with Chouchou and Brazil. I'll give him the prices on the market today. Can the Honourable Minister inform the House how he intends to maintain reasonable prices of vegetables as we approach the festive season and the end of the year? Prices are more than double, Madam Speaker.
Question. Vegetables, and I know the prices.
Madam Speaker, these are seasonal products, but this government has come with maximum markup on frozen vegetable and canned vegetable. Let me give some prices.
Fresh vegetables, I think he's mentioning. Yes.
We can also eat frozen vegetable and canned vegetable. Ambo garden mix, 450 grams. Garden mix. Today it's being sold at 78 rupees. And when the MSM was in power, it was 143 rupees. Although mixed vegetable, 400 grams. Today it's being sold at 57 rupees. And when the MSM was in power, it was 101 rupees.
Okay, I will have to give at least one question to the Chief Whip.
Can the Honourable Minister confirm that the prices of the following products have kept on increasing since the beginning of this year? And I have a table that supports what I'm saying, Madam Speaker, that is fresh and frozen beef, mutton and chicken, poisson la perle, salted fish, canned pilchard. And will he tell the House what he intends to do to alleviate the loss of affordability this population is facing? Because we're not going to eat only milk in this country.
Short and sweet. Babies take only milk.
He needs to be patient because there is a second list of subsidized products coming soon.
Thank you. Chief Whip.
Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente. Le ministre pourrait-il indiquer à la Chambre quels étaient le taux d'inflation en 2022 et en 2023 et quel est le taux d'inflation aujourd'hui? Je vous remercie, Madame la Présidente.
Monsieur le ministre, allez-y.
Inflation was huge when the MSM was in power. Let me give you some example. October 2022, it was 9.9%. November 2022, it was 10.3%. December 2022, it was 10.8%. And it was around 11 to 12% in 2023. Today, let me give some example from July. July 2025, 3.1%. August 2025, 3.3%. September 2025, 3.4%. October 2025, 3.5%.
Thank you. Honourable Member for Port-Reitz North.
Madam Speaker, the Minister should in fact say they started on
No.
the back foot.
Question.
Given that the Minister's government has renegated on all their promises, from the payment of 14th
I want
month,
a question.
decrease of price of fuel,
I want a question.
all of the promises that have been made have been renegated. The one, la promesse phare de l'Alliance du Changement, c'est la question.
You sit down. I have just said we need questions. We don't need comments. I want you to give a question, otherwise I'll ask someone else to speak.
La promesse phare était bien sûr d'instaurer un fonds de stabilisation de 10 milliards de roupies. Quand est-ce que le ministre peut-il éclaircir à la Chambre? Quand est-ce qu'on peut attendre ce fameux fonds de stabilisation à hauteur de 10 milliards de roupies, comme promis, surtout maintenant que le deal des Chagos est en question? Quand?
I don't need an answer. Minister spoke for 20 minutes on the stabilization price. We don't need an answer. Yes, Mr. Jaman. No, Mr. Jaman asked.
Yeah, on the same issue, the price stabilization.
La question c'est quand? What is the speaker, my question? I put a question.
Okay.
Madam Speaker, we have a mandate of 5 years. He has to be patient.
Yes, Mr. Jaman, yes. I gave
Thank you,
him,
Madam the Speaker.
I gave him.
In the
already.
same vein, to reduce cost of living and improve the purchasing power, can the Honourable Minister seek whether the STC can consider to import more products, basic necessities, in order to alleviate poverty and reduce cost of living?
I thought he already replied to that as well.
No. The STC, I'm saying the STC.
Very
Can the
short,
STC consider?
Short and sweet. Short and sweet.
We are in this direction.
Yes.
STC will import more
Okay.
products.
Last question, Leader of the
Madam
Opposition.
Speaker,
Then
I
we
get
will
back
break.
to the Price Stabilization Fund. We understand from the reply that out of 492 million rupees, only 73 million rupees has been disbursed until now by the MRE. Now, he made mention of the second list. May I ask the Honourable Minister to inform the House where matters stand with regard to the publication of the second list of products to fall under that fund, when we know that the consumer protection associations have already agreed on the list since 3 months ago, Madam Speaker.
Yes, Minister.
Speaker,
Last reply.
We have
last
indeed
question.
met the different associations of consumer protection. When we had a technical committee between my ministry and the Ministry of Finance,
Let the Minister speak, please.
the interministerial committee will need to meet by next week. Thereafter, we will go to cabinet.
Thank you. Time is up.